Now let's return to President Trump, because in just over half an hour's time, he will be delivering the annual State of the Union address to Congress, and he is aiming to appeal to voters in an election year. Let's discuss what he's going to discuss with Joseph Sternberg, a member of the Wall Street Journal's editorial board. We've been speaking all night about what we can expect. We got to address the ongoing impeachment, because historically this is a huge moment, and when it comes to the State of the Union, President Trump will be only the second president ever to give an address while undergoing this impeachment trial.
Absolutely. And so that makes one of the exciting things this evening, whether he's going to talk about it. Now, I mean, certainly I think that the smart thing to do would be to ignore it. The polls suggest that President Trump's popularity is holding up despite the impeachment, maybe even because of it. It's not very popular. I think that he can probably get more traction with voters if he focuses on positive stories like the economy. But the fact of the Trump era is that you're never sure if he'll be able to exercise that degree of self-restraint when he's actually up there on the podium.
When it comes to the economy, when your paper together with the NBC broadcaster did a poll, you found that the economy is polling very well. Americans are happy with the way it's going in, but comparatively not as happy with Donald Trump himself. Surely the two should be going in tandem.
Yes, and that's actually one reason that the State of the Union will be so important, and an opportunity for him to really look presidential and focus on the good economic news, because I think that what people don't like and why his popularity rating underperforms despite the economy is that voters don't like the circus aspect. They want a president often who will seem a bit more presidential than President Trump too often does. So the speech tonight, if he can stay on message, is an opportunity for him to show that he's capable of delivering that.
How easy is it for him to go off message?
Well, again, you never know. I would not want to put money betting on whether he'll stay on message on this, but he does seem to be able to stick to the teleprompter when he needs to. And there's a lot of incentive for him to do that, because if he can focus on the good economic news, the wage growth that we're starting to see in the U.S. economy, the very low unemployment rate, that's something that voters are responding well to, and that usually works in favor of an incumbent who's running for re-election.
As we await those results from the Democratic caucuses in Iowa, it feels like the candidates there they've moved on. Most of them are now in New Hampshire. Who do you think President Trump would like to be up against when it comes to the presidential election in November?
Well, I think that he would probably prefer to run against Bernie Sanders, on the theory that Sanders' economic agenda is so far to the left, so far outside of the American political mainstream, that voters would go for the devil they know in November and re-elect Trump. Now, what's interesting from Iowa is that Democratic voters also seem to be favoring Pete Buttigieg, who's perceived as a more moderate candidate, maybe a little bit younger, would certainly be a big contrast to President Trump on the debate stage. So some of those voters might conclude that they actually want someone who can look like a reasonable, moderate alternative.
Joseph, as always, thank you so much. Thanks for spending the evening here with us here on Newsday as we await the State of the Union address. Joseph Sternberg from the Wall Street Journal, thank you. And Katty Kay, Christian Fraser, they are going to have special coverage of Donald Trump's State of the Union address. It's going to be straight after this programme here on BBC News. You can also check out our website. There's even the app that you can follow. Lots of different opportunities for you to watch the address live. Will he, won't he mention impeachment? Stay with us here on BBC News.